I have been selling this book, Zanazli and Wan Chun Hong's Guide to Indie Filmmaking, which is published by MPH, for a while now. It's a really good book if you want to be a filmmaker, whether it's for YouTube, social media, TV, film, cinema, whatever. This is the book to get. I'm going to make it more accessible and more affordable to all of you because I believe that everybody needs to become a filmmaker. The more filmmakers we have in the world, I think this world will be a better place to live in. Now it's available as an electronic book download on my website. I'm going to link it here. It's really cheap, it's really affordable. It's only 5 ringgit if you want to get the ebook version. Okay, 5 ringgit. It doesn't really cost much, right? It's just a little bit of something for me. I mean, it did take a lot of work to write. Each chapter of this book talks about one part of the filmmaking process. And for each chapter as well, I interview a local filmmaker. It's only 5 ringgit. It's only 5 ringgit. You're watching and listening to Bidin Knows Everything, and it's called Bidin Knows Everything because it's obvious that I know everything. This week, what I want to talk about is the economic impact that the pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic, and the current MCO 2.0 has had in Malaysia. Okay, and I think it's been quite bad. But this week, we're brought to you by goreng pisang from Gerai Goreng Pisang Kak Tipah in Kota Kemuning near the Petronas station. Alright, okay. Okay, so what I want to talk about is the fact that the economy has been badly affected by this pandemic. And the second MCO, or they call the MCO 2.0, that has been implemented by the government. If you read the news, a lot of surveys have been done about businesses closing down, retailers suffering drops in their sales, like huge drops. SMEs suffering because SME associations are saying that SMEs are suffering and they might have to lay off employees, actually, either downsize or actually just shut their businesses. Now, here's the thing. I run a small production company. So far, I've been lucky and work has been coming in. But let me tell you, it's been more than a year. It's coming to a year. Not more than a year, but it's coming to a year where we've been through this pandemic. I foresee that if we don't come out of this pandemic or the lockdown soon, by middle of this year, even my business is going to suffer, right? And I'm worried. If you look in the media today, all these news organizations are reporting surveys being done, research being done to show that the economy is not doing very well. Today, the Minister of Trade, Datuk Seri Mustafa Muhammad or Topa, has said that the MCO 2.0 is not as severe to the economy as the previous MCO. He's saying that it's not too bad. The losses now a day is about 700 million ringgit, and before this it was like 2.8 million ringgit in the first MCO. But just because it's 700 million ringgit, it's not as bad as the first MCO doesn't mean it's not bad, because a lot of businesses and people have already been affected from the first MCO, and we were recovering, and we have started opening up our economy, our industries and society. These businesses were just about to start to pick up again, starting to come back and being okay again. And now with the MCO 2.0, just at the point when they are about to recover, they're hit again. Okay, so it's very easy, I think, for a lot of people to say, hey, chill, write it out. Okay, write it out, write the MCO out, stay home, don't go anywhere. Once it's over, then we can continue back as normal. But I don't think it's as easy as that for people who are, the popular term, the B40s, right? The people in the B40 group who are living hand to mouth, and who are living on daily wages, who are freelancers, who need to work on a daily basis to survive. It's not so easy for them, right? Okay, look, Here's an article by the Malay Mail. You guys can go and check it out. It says that 88% of businesses operating in Malaysia's 3 major cities, Penang, Johor and KL, have reported a decrease in sales. Like a big decrease in sales, right? In the Vibes, there's a report where the industry SME groups saying that they are expecting mass layoffs as businesses, these SMEs start to shutter their business or either downsize, and it's going to be mass layoffs if nothing is going to be done soon. Right? So I don't know. I feel that it's very easy for people who have a steady income coming in, or at least have a buffer, right, to just say chill and ride it out, right? I see a lot of people saying that, oh yeah, MCO, it's okay lah, you know, we cannot go for holidays and all that. Save money lah, you know, stay at home, order in, spend some time with your family and ride it out. Sure, if you've got the resources to be able to do that, that's great, right? If you have money coming in and you see the MCO as an opportunity for you to save money, that's great. But how many people out there who are actually like that? People who really, look, we've seen the reports. There was a report in the newspaper in Sabah where there was these 4 people from a rural village. They were fined because they had to go outside to look for food, right? And they were fined 1,000 ringgit. So times are tough. The B40s are already having it tough. There are now, it's also very precarious. If you look at the reports, like SMEs are closing down. You're going to look at people who are in the M40, M20. What's the M? Well, let me check. There's the B40 and the M40. These are the middle income people, right? If they lose their jobs, they can easily fall straight into B40. Bam! Just it's just a borderline, right? Because people will have loans to pay. People have houses to pay for, commitments and all that. And if you lose your income, that's it, right? You're gone, and you're going to be in deep waters, man. It's terrible, right? I'm sure there are also reports of people in the T20 dropping down, boom, down to B40, right? So this is a real. I think this is a real problem, right? Where is the line supposed to be drawn when it comes to balancing whether you want to save lives from people from dying from the pandemic, from getting the virus, or dying from poverty and starvation and not being able to eat, right? Not people are taking risks now to just go out and find jobs and work. People would rather take that risk to go out and work rather than just stay at home, because times are becoming that tough, right? In my social media timeline, because I make films, right? In my social media timelines, I have a lot of friends who are working in the production line, who are making films, making videos, production, right? And they can't work right now, and they've been waiting for an opportunity to go out and work, because most of them are freelancers and they rely on day-to-day jobs, right? And they can't. So how, right? What is the criteria being used to see what industries can be kept open during the MCO and what cannot? All right? One thing, if you notice, all around the world and in history, right? No matter who the government is, who the authority, whoever is in power, it never gets as bad as once the economy starts getting bad and affects the people, right? People will really, really feel it and become desperate when it hits their pockets. It hits their pockets. That's when they really they become desperate. Right? So, I don't know. I want to make a joke about this thing, but I can't. I just think it's a little bit too serious. Right? Like, for example, right? Imagine people who are in the middle income bracket, M40, lose their jobs and they've got kids to feed and all that. What's going to happen? I don't know. It's a serious matter. It's obvious. It doesn't take a lot of explanation for people to understand this. Right? So it's a serious matter. I want to know what you guys think. What do you guys think? Right? And what can be done actually? how long can we go on this MCO? Should we open up the industries, right? Is the government listening? Will the government listen? Are they making decisions by consulting, people like this, the SME groups, people who are doing research about retail, and everybody in the industry, everybody in society, Are they consulting people? Do they know what's happening? Right? Yeah. So I don't know. Let me know. Okay. That's what I wanted to talk about this week. Now we're going to the part where I suggest something that I've seen. I want to highlight something that I find interesting. And my wife and I have been watching this mini-series on Netflix called Unorthodox. I find it a very interesting mini-series. It's about this girl who she's part of a Hasidic Jewish community in Williamsburg, Brooklyn in New York. This is a very orthodox, very a fundamentalist Jewish community in Brooklyn in New York. They're almost like the Amish, They are so religious, they don't want to mix with the outside world and all that. So it's about this girl who runs away. She's forced to get married and then runs away from the community, runs away to Berlin, Germany to break free from this Orthodox community. It's actually based on a true story, and by a book. It's based by a true story written by, it's a book written by Deborah Feldman called Unorthodox: The Scandalous Rejection of My Hasidic Roots. You learn a lot about the Hasidic Jewish community, or the Orthodox Jewish community. Now, I've been to Williamsburg, Brooklyn to see how the society is there. I went, I walked through the neighborhood, took some pictures, and that's it. It's not like I talked to anybody there. Even though I got to see it with my own eyes, watching the show really opened up my eyes, and it got me thinking, about this Orthodox and Jewish community. I've always been interested in the Amish. I've been to Amish villages and all that to see how they live. They live like in our olden times, right? So it's just interesting to see. But the fact that in this community, women are so oppressed that they have to escape, that's interesting. So try it. It's on Netflix right now. 4-part miniseries. Not bad. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. Like this video, don't like, share it, subscribe to us. Follow us on all our social media platforms at FatBidin, or go to fatbidin.com to get everything you've been watching and listening to. Fat Bidin Knows Everything. I've got 3 kids, 1 wife, and me to support. So you've got to help fund my life. So you actually can go to the Fat Bidin e-store, right? I'm gonna link it below, right? And you can get actually Fat Bidin merchandise, right? And most of it are actually books. I used to sell DVDs and films and all that, but hey, everything's available on YouTube now. So now if you want to get Fat Bidin merchandise, it's mostly books. So I've got books here. See, like this book. This is called The Adventures of a Keralite in Afghanistan. It's a graphic novel. See, graphic novel which I wrote and illustrated with my buddy Apan, right? It's a non-fiction one. It's about my time in Afghanistan shooting a documentary for a month when I was there. See, I'm a war journalist, right? So it's a really good book, right? I've got this non-fiction novel. It's called Operation Nasi Kerabu, Finding Patani in an Islamic Insurgency. This book I wrote because I spent some time in southern Thailand where there's a war there. You all know there's a war there, right? In Patani, right? I shot a documentary there which was banned for broadcast, but hey, they allowed me to publish a book. And if you get the book, there is a QR code at the back, right? There's a QR code at the back which allows you to watch it for free online. Oh, where's the QR code? There's the QR code, right? It's online, meaning you scan the QR code, you go to my YouTube channel. Okay, I've got another book. This is called Journal Dad, The Chronicles of a Journalist Who Happens to Be a Father. It's a compilation of my articles, my column when I was writing for the Malaysian Insider. It's all about me being a journalist and raising a family at the same time. It's really funny. It's funny. My best-selling book, Liberal, Malay and Malaysian, Writings of a Walking Contradiction. This is a compilation also of my column in the Malaysian Insider. This one focuses more on politics, race, demonstration, democracy and religion and things like that. It's funny too. All my books are funny because I'm a funny guy, right? Yes, I am. And if you like films, I sell this book. See, I wrote this book with my buddy Wan Chun Hong. It's a guide to filmmaking, indie filmmaking. Every chapter talks about one aspect of filmmaking, and every chapter also interviews one really prominent Malaysian filmmaker. It's really good. You can get all these books at the Fat Bidin e-store. Come on, feed my kids.